Abaticola and Ferrari discuss everything. With Matt Abaticola.
Son, your ego is writing checks your body can't cash.
I'm sorry I ruined your New Year's Eve party. She tastes like cigarettes.
And Jason Ferrari.
I'm very important. I have many leather-bound books, and my apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
Two complete nincompoops with microphones and access to the World Wide Web. Presented by Mickey Finn's Brewery in Libertyville, Lake County's oldest brew pub. Now, here are your hosts for this shit show, Abaticola and Ferrari.
Hello there, podcast friends. It's Abaticola Ferrari Discuss Everything. This is episode number 12, Muscular Beavers. He's Jason Ferrari. I'm Matt Abaticola. We, of course, are presented to you by Mickey Finn's, Lake County's oldest brew pub. Check them out in downtown Libertyville at 345 North Milwaukee Avenue. You can connect with them on Twitter at Mickey Finns. You can find the show on Twitter at AFDE Show. You can email us anytime, afdeshow@gmail.com. And we are on Facebook. You can connect with us there at facebook.com/AFDE Show. Again, episode number 12. Thanks for downloading and listening and being here with us. This is Muscular Beavers. It's Ferrari and Abaticola, and we do discuss everything. Lots going on in the world. We'll start off with a little baseball talk quickly to get things going. The Cubs currently trailing the Dodgers in Game 5, 2-0 here at Wrigley Field. And it looks like it might be enough offense for the Dodgers and Clayton Kershaw, as the Cubs not hitting very well in this series, really not hitting very well in the playoffs. I think they are at the lowest batting average, lowest team batting average of any team in baseball history in the playoffs through this many games. So it doesn't really bode well when you're trailing 2-0 with Clayton Kershaw on the mound. He's not the same guy in the playoffs as he is in the regular season, but still the Dodgers looking to close out the Cubs with a 2-0 lead. So by the time we record this our next episode, episode 13, the Cubs could and most likely will be done. But the Cub fan in me says they're going to win tonight, win Saturday, win Sunday, and go on to the World Series, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I got nothing. No.
Nothing on that. No, that's fine.
No, I mean, I got nothing. I think we talked about anything I know about baseball in the kitchen. But, yeah, actually last year I watched every game, every postseason game, and, it was actually, I don't know, it was exciting. It's exciting for the city, so I always want good things for the city. But like I was telling you yesterday, I don't want them to lose, but I want, my public transit back. I want to be able to get on trains, but, otherwise, go Cubs.
Well, we'll see. You probably most likely will have, you definitely will have your transit back, even if they win tonight.
Well, at least, because then they go
back to LA for Saturday,
of course, it's
Sunday.
3 games in a row. I took a Lyft home today to avoid it.
Right. You apparently had a good time on your Lyft.
I did, man.
Drive home.
Joe, my Lyft driver, and I, we were. I called you while we were singing "Everything I Do" by Bryan Adams. It was a solid Lyft experience.
Singing to each other.
He's like, "Oh man, is this that one from Robin Hood?" And then we just started singing. Yeah,
which is also a terrible movie, by the way.
Yeah.
And it's a terrible movie that even I don't like. That's how terrible.
Well, I don't mind the movie so much.
It is.
Just him as the lead, but everything else, like the bad guy, was good and stuff. But
so
anyway.
That's the Chicago Cubs trailing the Dodgers 2-0 in Game 5 of the NLCS at Wrigley Field. Had a very exciting victory on Sunday. It was a frustrating up and down ride for Bears fans, but still fun nonetheless, as the Bears beat the Ravens. And Mitchell Trubisky's he performed well. That throw to Kendall Wright to set up the game-winning field goal was an unbelievable throw. Just really showed his athleticism, stepping up in the pocket, making a throw while he was basically up in the air without putting any feet forward, no leg at all. It was just an arm throw, and it was a great catch by Kendall Wright to set the Bears up for a game-winning field goal in overtime, which it shouldn't have gone to overtime, but it did, and they still walk away with a victory.
Yeah, that was it was fun. I was the first time I've watched a Bears game out in a long time. We went back to Racine to pick up our stuff from the wedding party on Saturday, and stuck around and watched the game. And I don't know, like we were talking about last week and the week before. I have confidence in Mitch. You see the traits, you see a future person. You see someone who's going to be very good. I think he's going to be very good. It's just always depended on supporting cast. But that throw, like just a wrist flick. Like it's just he has that innate ability to just launch the ball in. Like, and I think he's only going to get better.
Yeah, no, he will only get better, and it's finally good to see a top draft pick by the Bears who's a quarterback.
Just
that
say
can actually,
Bears and quarterback and someone being good.
It being good, yeah. So I'm really excited about what's going to happen as this team develops with this guy as their quarterback throughout the rest of this year and then moving forward in his career. And look forward to a great career from a great quarterback, which is so difficult and so rare for us to say. And you talk about great quarterbacks in the NFL. One of the greats of all time goes down last weekend with a broken collarbone. Now, I still haven't seen the actual play. I haven't even gone back online to look at it. Every piece of footage I've seen has always been Aaron Rodgers crumpled up on the ground, laying there with a broken collarbone. And someone told me a day or two ago, I can't remember who I was discussing it with, but that it might have been a late hit. Was it a late hit, or was it not? Was it late? Was it clean? Was it dirty?
Aggressive, and I had an instant flashback to McMahon. It wasn't like a hip toss, like throw him in, but like
Charles Martin picked him up and tossed him.
But he drove him into the ground. You know,
he did. Okay.
It was, but it's, I don't know. I've seen it 9 different ways, and I don't think it was dirty. You know, it was just 300 pounds of man like crushing his shoulder into the ground, and it broke it. There were Packers fans right behind us, and I was kind of joking around with them in the beginning, like, turn it off. Like, well, actually they had it on where we were sitting, and Chris turned it off for us. But I walked over, I'm like, man, I'm sorry, I don't ever want to see that guy hurt. I mean, I know he's Packer, I know he's a rival, but he's a good dude and he's a great quarterback, and I like seeing him play.
Yeah, no, I love Aaron Rodgers. I think he's probably in my opinion he's the best quarterback I've ever seen play as far as his abilities are concerned.
Well, consistent, over an extended period of time. I mean, I know like Brady has the wins.
Yeah, you talk about Tom Brady and the system and Belichick and the way they cheat and get away with stuff.
But Rodgers' natural ability is by far the best I've seen.
Right, Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback than Tom Brady. Period.
Absolutely.
Right. It's and there's no argument about it. So for me, I'm torn on it because I hate the Packers, and I don't mind seeing that happen to a team that's going to really properly and in a positive way influence my team in my division that I root for. But I also hate seeing Aaron Rodgers go down because he is one of the stars of the game, and he's a guy I love to watch play.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be upset and see him play against the Bears, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because he can pull stuff out of his ass and beat the Bears left and right. So it's just it's frustrating.
It's been consistent this year, which is nice though, like and refreshing. Defense.
Oh my God, the Bears defense looks like a real defense.
They do. They've been playing really well.
Akeem Hicks is a guy he has been playing out of his mind.
Remember, I told you how happy he was. I mean, because he was like that last guy. Like
he's been playing great.
Oh man.
And
he's total beast.
One of the things, and I haven't listened to a whole lot of sports talk since I left the score, but I have, and it's not something I intentionally try to do. I've gotten lucky the last couple times Akeem Hicks has been on with Mully and Hanley in the mornings on the score.
Yeah,
and he's a great segment. He's a great listen. He's very entertaining. He's very funny. And he's really good on the radio. It's a great segment with those guys.
He's very articulate.
Yeah,
he's a great.
He's super entertaining, and normally I don't. Man, I always hated having athletes on the show. It was just a waste of time generally.
Yeah, well, you never knew. Yeah, most of them are not good. I mean, they could be good players.
It didn't matter what sport. It didn't matter. Yeah, what position they played. It just generally was not good because they didn't say much. Now we got pretty lucky on B&B. We had Martellus Bennett for 1 year, and he was great.
Great for quotes.
He was entertaining, and that's all we wanted for our show.
Right.
Zach Miller was fantastic with the Bears with B&B when we had him.
Really like that. And whenever he's healthy, he's very good.
Akeem Hicks has just been spectacular to watch play, and he's just been out of his mind this year.
What's crazy is, think about how down and out Kyle Fuller was, and he's probably playing the best in the defensive backfield of anyone.
That was a great interception last week.
Yeah, but I mean, he's been.
Well, no, he didn't intercept it, but he caused the interception.
He caused the interception.
He broke in on it. Yeah, he read it beautifully.
But he's been playing just completely lights out football, and no one's throwing to his side, and that's awesome. I mean, the guy was literally like Vic Fangio last year basically called him a pussy for not playing and for having like some random knee surgery all year.
Right.
And then he said in an interview early on, he's been proving something to me, and he's playing very well. But the whole defensive backfield is playing well. I mean, we lose. Oh God, I just dropped his name. The safety, Quentin. What is it, Demps, or the guy who broke his arm?
Oh, isn't it? It's Demps, right?
Yeah. So he's out, and Adrian Amos, who's never had a turnover in his career, comes in and you're like, oh great, he's back, and then he gets a big interception.
Right. Returns it for a touchdown.
Yeah, 2 turnovers because we have been awful at turnovers over the last couple of years. So. Well, it was fun to see.
3 going into the Ravens game, and they had 3 in the Ravens game. And then Akeem Hicks talking about that interception, he was like, there was no way that he was not going to score. He's like, we were going to do anything.
Oh, did you see them?
It was great.
They were pummeling people. It was so much fun.
It was great.
And then lastly about the Bears, of course, their special teams are poop, as usual, and they allow 2 special teams touchdowns.
Right.
I mean, I just... ever since
Tobe
Dave Tobe left, it's just toilet special teams.
Well, unfortunately, in the NFL, there's been a lot more talk than just football as of last season and this season as well. And the protests during the national anthem, they continue on, and they have become a national story, not only in the sports world but in the news world, and even and the racist White House, President Trump talking about it. In a speech last week or 2 weeks ago, said, wouldn't it be great if we see one of those guys kneel to get that son of a bitch out of here and fire him?
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I know. He's just a racist piece of crap in the White House, and that's where you're at since you voted for him, and whoever did out there. That's what you get. My take on the whole anthem thing, it is not a protest against the American flag. It's not a protest against this country. And if you choose to believe that's what the protest is about, then you're choosing to believe it because you hate what they're standing for. And in general speaking terms, if I want to make a very blanketed and a very umbrella statement, you hate people of color, which is why you hate this protest. That's basically what it comes down to.
I think so too.
If you cannot be open enough to understand what the protest is about, be open enough and be mature enough, even if you disagree with it, to talk about it and accept it as an adult, it basically comes down to that you're just a racist piece of garbage.
Yep.
Basically, there's really no other way around it.
I think what they're doing is, and what America is it's the definition of freedom, period.
Correct.
So what people are fighting for is freedom to express, to do what you do. It is in the Constitution. And, I had a thought today during my Bryan Adams Lyft ride. I was thinking, so I've been to a ton of Bears games, and many, many times people in the stands do not stand, do not take their hat off, do not put their hand on their chest. So if people in the stands aren't doing it, why do the players have to do it? It's plain and simple. Get over it. Seriously, get over it. Move on. We need a new topic.
Well, it's
so old.
Before this even happened with Colin Kaepernick,
which is also a
starting last
travesty.
year, right? It is. I mean, he's got some skill to play. There's some terrible quarterbacks out there, and he's sitting out there for this reason.
Yeah, he's not better than the toilet third stringers that are playing.
Right, and you really can't tell me there's no other reason why he's not playing.
That's all it is.
I mean, it's pure and simple.
I mean, and the owners hate it, and
right.
It's like, well, okay, why do you hate it?
But
why do you hate it? They
even,
can't even say why.
Even before this controversy came up and his protest started, that carried on throughout the league and other players, I never thought there was a decent place for the anthem. If it was fine if you got rid of it, it was fine if you don't. But it's so bizarre that in this city where people talk about players disrespecting the country and disrespecting the flag by kneeling, which obviously they don't get what the protest is about.
Right, exactly.
But it's the same city where idiots scream like maniacs during the anthem at the United Center during Blackhawks games.
Yep.
So that's acceptable to scream during it.
I think that is super annoing as well.
Well, it's fine. Whatever.
Well,
it is.
no, I mean, it's just
I get it, but
I've
been to so many Blackhawks games where I don't participate. Like I don't scream. I stand for the anthem. I stare at the flag. I listen to the guy yell and scream. It's not even singing; he's screaming it.
Yeah.
And then you hear the idiots scream too over it. But yet no one questions that. Right. Donald Trump isn't saying that all the white people that have really great seats at the UC during Hawks games should be kicked out for screaming during. That's just as disrespectful.
Exactly.
But it's a thing. Oh, it's just a thing we do. Okay. Well, this is a thing someone else is doing because they're protesting injustice in our country, and it's fine. Do it. They can do it. If you don't want to do it, that's great. Now, what the issue I have with it on a football sense and football teams, is if one guy doesn't agree with doing it, it doesn't mean he hates the cause or doesn't agree with the protest
or hates the country.
Right. But it just means that he wants to stand during the anthem.
Right.
And it shouldn't reflect on him poorly that, oh, he's not supporting his teammates.
No.
Like, to me,
That's not the
it's a
point.
separate issue. And, like, they should be able to work that out in the locker room on their own and say, hey, listen, I respect what you're doing. I support what you're doing. But you also have to support what I'm doing and the fact that I want to stand for my country. And people who are protesting, the teammates should say, yeah, I do. I support you to do that.
Right. Do what you got to do.
Right, do what you got to do. And that's the way we should all be able to do it. But we just can't. And so, but the bottom line with it is this. If you don't get why they're doing it and you're making it about something else, it's only because you're choosing to and you want to dislike people of color and what they're protesting. It's that simple.
Right. I mean, what? The NFL started in 1920, right? And in what way has professional football or any professional sport been about the national anthem, meaning you support your teammates? They are not linked. That it doesn't matter. It's
and I'm actually fine if you get rid of the anthem. I mean, altogether. Like I don't need it at a sporting event. I really don't.
right.
I really don't. It's particularly, when you look at sports where a majority of the rosters are guys from other countries, like baseball, for example.
Right.
I mean, come on.
Hockey.
Oh, yeah, hockey too. Sure.
Seriously.
I mean, you have European players,
Canadians and Russians. And
right?
Yeah.
Right, and that's fine. But I mean, it's just like it doesn't need to be a thing. And if they were to do away with it, I'd be fine with that. And now, just to see the stupidity trickle down into high schools and even lower levels of athletics in our country, where kids are being told they have to do this and they can't. And then you have other kids that are protesting it. It's just like I just hope that there's adults out there conveying the proper message that, hey, if you want to do this, you can, and here's the reason why. If you don't, that's fine too. But to have such a, our country is so divided right now. It's the most divided it's been in my entire life. I'm only 44, but it all starts with the racist guy in the White House.
We've been through, in our 40s, a fair amount of presidents and a fair amount of, seeing the political landscape, and this whole thing is a perfect representation of what's going on, because we're focusing on something that is so unimportant. It's it's basically like a distraction.
When there are so many important things that our White House isn't dealing with because they can't, because it's a divided White House.
But it's not even just the White House.
It's our government in general, but it all starts with the president. Well, I mean, the guy sets the tone that allows people to be ignorant a-holes and just say, you know what? It doesn't matter what you think or feel. The president says this, so I agree with him, and I'm a racist too, so I'm going to feel the same way. So they feel justified in their hatred and their divisiveness because of this clown. I mean, the guy, he blatantly just lies. Just goes out and lies and said former presidents never called, families of fallen soldiers. Like, how can you just lie?
Right.
And he just gets away with it. One lie after another. That's my thing with it. Listen, you know what? I didn't vote for Trump. Fine. The guy won the election. He's the president. I went on the air at the Score in a solo show one day on remote, and I said I'm willing, because I respect the office, to give the guy the benefit of the doubt.
I said the same thing.
And see how he's going to perform as president. Like, I was willing to give the guy a chance and put the election and the whole campaigning behind me as a citizen and say I support my president. It took about a month before I said the guy's a lunatic. I can't do this.
No.
And he is a lunatic, and he's allowed to lie. And just, I mean, people, and he goes out, he says he's going to take away, different news stations from their ability to report the news because it's fake news, because they disagree with him, or they report the truth, and it shines a bad light on him, even though it's the truth.
Right.
It's so frustrating.
It's like an umbrella of censorship, across all platforms. And, all these things lead to why you should become a part of the Dago Tea Party.
Exactly right. So all you got to do is throw on a Dago tea, put it on your baby, on your kids, your dog, your grandma, your grandpa, even if they're in a nursing home. If they're dead, dig them up and put one on them.
Yourself.
Also, pair of comfy pants. You go out in front of the Jewels and you take a picture of your family wearing a Dago tee, and it's hashtag Dago Tea Party, DAGOTEE Party. Moving on to a different topic, and this isn't going to make us feel any better, but Harvey Weinstein. Is it Weinstein or Weinstein? Is it Weinstein? Is it Weinstein?
Yeah,
Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein, there are 1,003 allegations of sexual assault or sexual harassment against this guy, from major Hollywood movie stars to some B-listers as well. Just an absolutely not surprising story, but a thoroughly disgusting story. One is disgusting. Just the massive amounts of women coming forward it's appalling.
I have a very basic take on it. One, it's terrible. Two, he's being made an example of, because three, if anyone is surprised that people responsible for casting that are agents, that are producers, that are directors, are sexually harassing female or male people. If you're shocked, then I think you live under
Way naive.
Under a rock, or you're underground in a bunker.
Way too naive. Yep.
Because I mean, you're hearing about some of these stories where people are 16 and 17 years old.
Right.
I mean, if you're a beautiful girl, Harvey his place of choice seemed to be hotel rooms and a white bathrobe. But I mean, the joke of the casting couch. I mean, think of how long that's been going on, and it's not funny, but it's there.
Right.
And this is a giant guy, like one of the biggest, people in Hollywood, and it's not a shocker. And more is going to come out. That's just going to happen.
What did you think of what Ben Affleck did? He came forward and he apologized for groping someone a long time ago. And what did you think of all that?
I don't know if the point of that, I know what the point of is. We want to make light. We want to expose that this is happening. And I think it opens up questions about, there's so much stuff that we read about, that like children, like, it's a different area, but
right.
Still with people that are responsible for making kids famous, things along those lines. I don't know if he was pressured for some reason because but maybe he identified with it and was like, man, I did that, and it's wrong. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know what the motivation behind it was. Part of me, the skeptic in me is like, oh, he's getting out in front of it, just in case.
Yeah.
The other half of me I was pretty impressed with his vulnerability and being open enough to do that and to expose himself like that. But, I'm sure he had people that advised him to the fact that there was an ocean of allegations from Harvey Weinstein, and he's in a toss. I'm not trying to minimize what he did,
but I do think you're right.
But he's tossing a rock in that ocean, and it was a quick news cycle, and it's in and out, and it's out there, and it's possibly good PR, even though it's a disgusting story and what he did. So part of me feels that I respect what he did. The other, and probably a larger majority of me, was like, he was hiding behind the Weinstein thing and trying to get out in front of it, maybe just in case. So, I don't know really what the benefit was to do it publicly. Maybe he reached out privately and apologized, and then, then it was like, well, you should do this, or I'm okay, or it's okay if you do this. That might have been maybe seemed like more of a sincere approach to it.
Right.
So I hate to judge it because I don't know the whole ins and outs of it, but it's just that's the split thinking I have behind the whole thing.
Whenever these things happen, and it's unfortunate, but I have a feeling. Think about how huge this guy is, and that he has secrets, he has things on other people, and if these lawsuits start happening, think about how many people in Hollywood are going to be he's going to throw people under the bus.
Right. I mean, let's just
save his own ass.
Well, let's just throw a scenario out there, and maybe not even to save his own ass, but just to, hey, if I'm going down, you're going down with me.
No, but I mean,
star actor A who was in the hotel room with me, and
how
these three
many
women,
times have you heard about somebody saying, "Oh, but this guy
Right.
did it." It takes the focus off of him, and he gets a lesser sentence.
Yeah, hey, I did that to this girl in this hotel room on this couch.
Yeah, but guess who was here?
Yeah, so and so was here, and so was here, and they were doing this as well.
Mm-hmm.
I could totally see that happening. Another thing that bothered me about it too is the fact that he's supposed to be in treatment for sex addiction, yet he's getting in front of a camera at any opportunity he has, and he was on a conference call with his company trying to save his job and say that he was wrongfully fired. I don't know what kind of treatment you're going to if you're allowed all those opportunities to go out and do things.
Staying in a hotel in Arizona.
Yeah, I don't know.
He was going into sex addiction the next day. Yeah,
it just doesn't sound like a whole. Man, we've been doing it a lot this episode.
Yeah,
episode
man,
12,
we get
Muscular
fired up
Beavers.
again. Italians hand talk.
No, it's Muscular Beavers.
Hand talking.
We're
hand
getting
talking.
fired up. So yeah, that's another story. So let's move on. And before we get into listeners' questions and answers, we did ask you for questions and answers to email us at afdshow@gmail.com. The Twitter's out there, and you can follow us on Twitter. You can see when we want the questions. We did get some. Before we get to those, let's lighten the mood up a little bit here. Jim Gaffigan show at Chicago Theater. You and Trish went.
We went.
Was it last Thursday, right? Or
no,
Friday?
it was this. When the hell did we go? This past Wednesday, wasn't it?
So today
No,
is
I don't know.
Today's Thursday,
Well,
so it was
yeah,
a week ago.
At some point,
it was last week.
I don't even know when we went anymore. Dude, I've been working so much. I have no concept of time. But I've been to a fair amount of stand-up shows. And I've never been to a bad one. They're all very funny because that's what they do. But this is the first one I've ever been to where, oh boy, Cub stuff. Yeah, my stomach feels like I did sit-ups. Still, we laughed from the beginning to the end. How is he? And is he? How's his language? Is he vulgar? He's not that guy at all.
At all, right? I didn't think he was.
He's definitely like a clean comic, and he's got 5 kids, and he has like hilarious stories about these kids.
Yeah.
He's a great Twitter follow because he just posts, like we talked about it. That was one of our tweets last week.
Yeah.
He'll just post things about his kids, like the stuff at Disney. Oh my God, it's so funny. But like this stand-up was outstanding, and I cannot wait for people to see it. If he comes to your town, or when I guarantee it's going to be on like HBO or Showtime. I think probably HBO. But
well, that's good to hear, and that's why
funny.
I was so blown away too when I saw the George Lopez special on HBO with how vulgar he was. Only not that I was offended by it. It was very unexpected. That's I just didn't know that's what he did.
That was like back in the day watching Bob Saget. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's a dirtbag.
Right? Total scumbag, this guy. But I figured Gaffigan was kind of clean.
He's a clean guy.
His comedy.
I mean, you've seen his other specials,
right.
But I mean, and they're all on Netflix. But this was super funny.
Well, I mean, the Hot Pockets thing is one of the funniest things my entire life.
He ended the show with an expanded. He
did he really?
took Hot Pockets to a new. I was crying.
Oh my God, that's great.
So good.
That's one of the funniest bits ever. Ever.
But he
like from the jingle to how hot it is.
Like he's never gonna bring it up because it's that thing.
Right.
And at the end, he's like, he started going in on it and was like, Hot Pocket. The
Oh,
whole
it's
place
just
went
great.
crazy.
Yep.
And then I can't. This one's a spoiler. Like I can't.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. Good
It's
for him
so
for
fun.
bringing it back up because that's great. That's one of the best. All right, on to listener questions and our answers. We have our first question here from Phil, and this is a great question. I've seen this debated recently on Twitter. Actually, Cubs first baseman Anthony Rizzo, whose team trails 7-0 right now in Game 5, which means the season's over.
Shut up.
Yeah, they just scored 5 in one inning. It's 7-0. Yeah, that was that noise a few minutes ago.
Oh God.
What that was.
Well. Yeah.
Here's the question: is a hot dog a sandwich or its own thing? I'll let you answer first.
I think a hot dog is just its own thing. I don't know. I guess is there a standard definition of a sandwich? But like what I have in my mind is not that. So I feel like hot dogs, like brats, like Polish sausages, things of those nature are just kind of in their own category. Like what does Anthony Bourdain call it? Like encased meat.
Right.
Like I feel like hot dog is its own thing.
Well, let's since you asked the question, here's the definition of a sandwich: an item of food consisting of 2 pieces of bread with meat, cheese, and other fillings between them, eaten as a light meal. A light meal? They should change that definition.
Okay.
So now, if you go by the letter of the law in this definition, a hot dog is not a sandwich.
Okay.
I also agree with you, just not even based on this definition, that a hot dog is its own thing.
Okay. But what? All right. So now this has prompted a different question. So obviously, like I've been helping out at my buddy's restaurant, and we, selling Philly steaks and Philly chicken sandwiches, right?
Right.
But they said by definitions it's 2 pieces of bread, but like a sub or things of that nature is a 1 piece of bread that's cut.
An Italian beef.
Right. Those are all sandwiches.
Correct.
So, but yeah, I feel like encased meat, like that's its own thing. Like he calls it tubed meat. That's like those kind of things are their own thing.
Yeah, you know what? I think
they can't say I'm having a Polish sausage sandwich.
For me, I think a sandwich is 2 slices of bread, of some type of bread with stuff in between, generally meat, cheese, and condiments. And then I think like sandwiches like a Philly cheese or a gyro, which is an a pita, which is completely different,
or
or
a sandwich,
an Italian beef, or Italian sausage. Those are like subsections of sandwiches. But to me, a hot dog doesn't even fit in that. A hot dog is its own. A hot dog's a hot dog.
It's its own thing.
It's its own thing.
Yep. Agreed.
All right. So
all right. That's the most I thought I'd ever talk about that.
Hot dog's its own thing. And then, by the way, like a hot dog is generally a hot dog, unless you like go to a specialty place that is making its own hot dogs.
Yeah.
And like you can't tell me that one hot dog stand that buys Vienna beef hot dogs is better than the other hot dog stand that buys Vienna beef hot dogs.
Yeah, unless they make their own or they do.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
specialty stuff.
Like a place like Hot Doug's.
Right.
You know, they're making their own sausages, and the guys that you used to know that did Sausage Place.
Oh yeah, Westminster Dogs. Yeah, Oh,
that's
so
something
good,
different,
yeah.
right? I mean, if you're a place, and that's nothing wrong with it. I love a good hot dog stand where you buy a Vienna beef hot dog and you have basically the same bun, the same toppings.
Had a bad hot dog, honestly.
Generally not. The only thing bad about a hot dog is when it's not hot enough.
Yeah, or
like a hot dog needs to be really warm.
I don't like the charred shit.
Oh, you don't? You don't like them grilled?
No. It's weird, but I like the boil. Like I like.
Yeah,
the
no, that's fine.
boiled ones
I like them
best.
both.
Yeah.
I like them both. That's why I
Or
like going
steamed,
to.
I should say steamed,
like
yeah.
a steamed dog is just as good to
With
me
a
as
steamed bun,
a charred dog. Yeah, absolutely. Chris has a question.
That is, my brother. I was. Yeah,
okay.
I was asking him. Hey, I just wanted to see if my brothers had any fun questions, and Chris said, "Here's one. Which one of your listeners can get me a job that pays the most money?" So anybody out there, if you are hiring for something, my brother is a smart, articulate young man and needs a job that pays high.
Yeah, so let us know at AFDE Show on Twitter.
I'm sure there's going to be a lot of gross things, but it'll be funny, and I'll share them with him.
Here's Aaron. Which booze did you spew up that you can never drink again? All right,
Yeah,
so
those are the exact words, spew up.
Which liquor made you sick and you can never drink it again? People, I think everyone has one of these things. For me, I've done it one time since the incident. It was back when I was working at Shoeless Joe's, and our general manager had some holiday party. I don't remember if it was a Labor Day weekend party or what it might have been, but we went through several bottles of Jägermeister.
Yeah.
And I got violently ill, and I had a really hard time, and it was years, maybe 13, 14, or even 15 years later, that I did a shot of Jaeger at one of our remotes after the show was over with a listener. And it was, I talked about it and I said, I can't do it. And the guy was like, well, I want to help you break this right now. And I'm like, I don't really need to, though. I'm fine not drinking it. I said, I'll do it with you. That's fine. And I did it. And it was rough getting it in and getting it down. And it is not a good liqueur. And anyone who enjoys Jägermeister is there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, it's like.
But that's it for me is Jaeger.
It's like someone took some motor oil and put black licorice in it.
And cough syrup.
Yeah.
And dirt.
It's brutal. I mean,
and poop.
Shots are shots. Honestly, I usually I don't like doing like a ton, but you do a Jaeger and move on. But for me,
is it one you can't drink?
No, but there was one that I got. The only thing that I've ever gotten sick on was like Southern Comfort.
Oh,
because it's so sweet.
I used to kill Southern.
But it was easy to drink. But I mean, I got sick and I skipped it for. Forever, but yeah, when I moved to the city, people were doing SoCo limes, and I just got right back in the game. I don't know, I don't puke, I don't throw up.
Yeah,
it's just not my thing.
All right, here's a question from Rick: how has Netflix or binge watching changed the landscape of Hollywood? Well, binge watching, I don't think it's necessarily Netflix. I think a lot of the cable channels that started doing their own programming, which led to an opportunity like Netflix to do its own original programming, I think is absolutely spectacular.
Agreed.
You have so many venues now and opportunities. Even regular cable networks like TNT, TBS have their own original programming. I honestly, dude, I can't remember, a series on regular network TV that I committed to and watched on a regular basis.
You mean other than
recently
Quantico?
I dropped out though. It's like where I stayed with it. I mean, I started with Quantico, but it lost me. There wasn't a series, but there are so many series on cable networks that I watch religiously, faithfully.
Well, I think this is a twofold question too, because I do think that Netflix and binge watching has changed what Hollywood is putting out TV wise.
Right.
And I think there is so much more flexibility and budget through cable. Through HBO, Showtime, Cinemax, Stars, like all the original programming, there's a shitload of money behind it now.
Mm-hmm.
And then the ability to be able to not have to wait for the next week, it's amazing.
Right.
I mean, it's definitely affecting Hollywood. Like, people will watch 13 weeks of programming in 2 days. I've done it. 13 episodes. Like, it's not hard. The other thing, though, is let's take Netflix and binge watching out. Hollywood has been like a large pile of shit for a while. Like, all we're getting is remade movies that should not be remade, and superhero movies, that are entertaining, but it's not new. Like, they're just riding on this trend.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone's putting out anything great. It's kind of annoying.
You bring up superheroes too. Go back real fast to the Ben Affleck thing. Why the one half of me, the majority thinks, whatever the negative purposes behind it. Basically that stems from the fact that I think he's a terrible Batman, and I'll move on from that. I think he's an awful Batman.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we've addressed the question. I'm completely indifferent. I really would have to put a lot of thought in. I think the worst Batman is Val Kilmer.
Jeez,
there were
some terrible. What it was
bad.
when you had the Christian Bale, Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy was just you're not going to find much better.
No,
as far as superhero
Those
movies are concerned.
amazing.
Right? Yeah, it really doesn't get much better. Next question from your guy Jeremy.
My cousin, yeah.
Cricket Wireless. What technically qualifies as semi-formal?
Pretty sure everyone at the wedding had a different answer. So, if you've ever gotten married, the knot is kind of like the Bible of wedding information. And I knew if I put any other thing in there, people were going to, I was a little worried about what people were going to show up in. Because, Trish and I'm in tuxedo. Tricia's in her wedding dress. And if we have people showing up in
well, I was entirely underdressed because I had no idea what the dress code was.
Band T-shirts.
I didn't know that there
jeans.
was even writing on the back of your invitation.
Matt texted me and said he just realized there's writing on the back of the invitation when he was on his way to it.
Yeah. I knew I was just going to Racine. I knew
if you would, Matt, read that answer from the knot.
This is from the knot.
Yes.
Depending on the time of the event. Okay, so I thought you wrote this. I was like, wow, he really put some thought into this.
I did not.
So you copied this. Okay.
I
feel better. I feel a little better. I really thought you put thought into this.
I wanted to provide the actual definition of semi-formal, which is what I said the attire should be at our wedding this
Depending
past
on
Saturday.
the time of the event, you'll want to dress somewhere between formal and casual. Wear darker, more formal hues for evening, optional for light colors and fabrics for a daytime wedding. He should wear a suit and tie, dark or light depending on the season and time of day. She should wear a cocktail dress or a dressy skirt and top.
So that is the definition of semi-formal. That is what I envisioned when I wrote it on the invite, and then I received, let's call it 20 texts from various people not understanding, and I just said, dude, just please wear dress pants and a button down.
Yeah,
that's cool, man. Just don't roll in and hey, if someone actually did roll in the Dago Tea Party attire, I would have been like, I would have taken many pictures with that person.
Yeah, I had on carpenter jorts, I had on Timberlands, and I was wearing a hoodie.
Yeah, Matt was dressed like someone who was trying to hide the fact they were in a boy band.
I was dressed like the Unabomber. That was my purpose and my goal. All right, we'll take a brief time out. This is episode 12. This is a Batacola for I discuss everything. This is Muscular Beavers, episode 12, and we are brought to you by Mickey Finn's. It's Lake County's first brew pub. Check them out, 345 North Milwaukee Avenue in beautiful downtown Libertyville. Go Cubs.
Hey, guys. Oh, big gulps, huh? All right. Well, see you later.
All right, welcome back in. It's episode 12, Muscular Beavers, Batacola Ferrari discuss everything. Before we get to our That's So Wisconsin segment, I was driving here and drove past a furniture store that made me laugh out loud. So we give a shout out to them on, this is unpaid advertising. It's called Lazar's, Lazars,
Okay.
Lazar's
Okay.
Juvenile Furniture. I know what it means, but I automatically assumed it's juvenile furniture, like poking you and laughing at you and farting as you walk by it and just being silly and dumb and juvenile.
Yes.
But I think it's furniture for young people.
For the kids.
For the children.
Yeah.
But so automatically I picture like a set of bunk beds, like farting and calling each other names.
It's way better.
And like waving the fart smell at each other.
No,
Damn
they don't even mess
furniture.
with humans. Just the furniture just messes with each other.
Damn juvenile furniture. So that's Lazar's. All right, so that's So Wisconsin is brought to us by our good friends.
Sorry, I just took a giant sip of Captain Morgan. Our good friends at Will's Northwoods Inn, 3030 North Racine in the Lakeview neighborhood. And we've been doing this set. I think we're about a month in on this segment. And today, there was not a lot of news in Wisconsin. I did kind of scour the web, and it was a lot of crime, which I don't think that's unique to Wisconsin. So I did happen across an article that's is basically facts that you did not know about Wisconsin. So we covered The Mustard Museum last week, and the week before we covered laws,
right?
The laws that were in Wisconsin, and that was interesting. So these are things that you would normally not know about Wisconsin.
So Wisconsin is modest about its lakes. We know Minnesota is their official motto is the land of 10,000 lakes. Wisconsin is not one to brag. The lake count comes somewhere near 15,000. Wisconsin has 15,000 lakes. The latest published count was 16,692 lakes in the state of Wisconsin. It doesn't surprise me. I'm not like overwhelmed by that information, but yeah, that's an awful lot of lakes.
I think I saw about 4, and then Lake Michigan off Milwaukee. That's what I saw of the 16,002 lakes when I was living there for 3 years.
Madison wasn't always the capital of Wisconsin. Belmont was the original capital. 1836, Wisconsin was not yet a state but a territory. You can still visit the council house and a lodging house for then legislators of this historic city, Belmont. So Madison was not always the capital. It was Belmont before it was a state.
Yeah, I know the Belmont Street here. That's all the Belmont I got.
The oldest city in Wisconsin is not Madison or even Milwaukee. It's
boy.
And this doesn't surprise me a lot, Green Bay. Goes all the way back to French explorer Jean Nicolet, who started a small trading post in 1634.
Okay.
Yeah, so a lot more history there. Although I've driven through Green Bay, and it's kind of a dump. They haven't done much since 1634.
Well, hey, if it's a French guy.
Jean Nicolet.
The French. I don't know,
4,
Lloyd, the French are assholes.
The Swiss cheese capital of the world is not located in Switzerland. It's right there in Wisconsin. Monroe is known for their cheese. You can visit Monroe in September every even-numbered year for the Greene County Cheese Days. So it's not even every year. It's every even-numbered year.
The best part of it is every even-numbered year.
I don't know, Bill. We can't do this every year. How about every even-numbered year, Steve?
Well, I don't know. On the odd years, we're going to just do a non-margarine fest.
Right. They're going to make cheese in the odd number years. So go out to Monroe, and you can go to the Greene County Cheese Days, but make sure it is an even number year.
Number 5 is my favorite.
Wisconsin is the land of bratwurst. Most Wisconsinites know that the world's largest Bratfest is located in Madison every Memorial Day weekend. You live there, and you never went to the Bratfest.
Yeah, every single year the world's largest Bratfest went on. We were back in Chicago for one reason or another.
Sheboygan is also known as the bratwurst capital of the world. Number 6, Wisconsin shaped modern music.
This one's super cool, man.
Yeah, I didn't know this.
Never known this.
The electric guitar was first brought to the market by George Beauchamp and Adolf Rickenbacker.
Killing the names tonight.
Their configuration, a lap steel guitar lined with crude coil windings that sent a signal to the amplifier, wasn't quite the instrument we enjoy today, but that's where it began. And you mentioned Les Paul.
Man, yeah, someone who is just a guitar legend, not only in playing, but in designing what our guitars are today, is from Wisconsin.
He's from Wisconsin.
I did not know that. And when you think of like modern roots of rock and roll and guitars, the Midwest, if it's not Chicago, is not really what you think.
Right, I certainly wouldn't pick Wisconsin.
Right, but I think that's super cool because all of that is great. The electric guitar is like what defines music that I enjoy.
All right, number 7, the statue atop the state capitol is not forward. Often mistaken as the forward statue, the sculpture at the highest point of Wisconsin's state capitol building is officially named Wisconsin, but also has been nicknamed the Golden Lady. It's actually clad in gilded bronze. The statue is a nod to the Greek goddess Athena. The figure's outstretched right arm is said to symbolize the state's motto, forward. This is probably where the misnomer comes in.
Okay.
There you go.
Here's a fun fact about the Capitol. Trisha's always like, do you have something on like, do you have like a list of things you want to do before you leave? And I'm like, well, I guess I could tour the Capitol. Yeah, we never did that. So my one thing on the list never happened in 3 years. My parents came and visited.
So your Wisconsin bucket list is unfulfilled.
Yeah, and they toured the Capitol. No, I've now thrown out the bucket list. It's good. If I'm ever up there, maybe we'll check it out. Otherwise, I'm good.
Number 8, Wisconsin is a contributor to cinema history. This is not my words, just reading the writing. The creator of what many consider the greatest movie ever made, Bodyguard. with Kevin Costner.
Yeah, was not put together by Orson Welles.
No, this is Citizen Kane. It was actually an export of Wisconsin. Orson Welles, who was born in Kenosha. Actually, Kenosha is a neighboring town of mine in Libertyville.
Oh,
a lot
pretty
of
much.
people that actually work in Libertyville live in Kenosha.
I think
That's how
Orson
close I
Welles
am
actually
to-
created the outlet mall. No,
He did,
I
no.
I just made that up.
No, there was an Orson Welles there before Orange Julius. Wisconsin is vertically challenged, sort of. That's number 9.
That just
The
really makes it sound like people are short.
highest natural point in Wisconsin isn't a mountain. It's actually a hill. It's called Tim's Hill.
Tim.
Is recorded at 1,951 feet. And number 10, Wisconsin leads the nation. Now this, Jason, if I were to
know we're
say
all
to
surprised.
you, what is Wisconsin most known for as far as an export's concerned, you would probably say what?
Dairy products.
Dairy products, correct. And I think we would say that. But Wisconsin actually leads the nation. That's the nation in exports of cranberries, whey, ginseng root, which is amazing to me, and sweet corn.
No shit. Now,
Now, if I were to say to you sweet corn, where would you say sweet corn comes from? What state?
Indiana?
Indiana, Iowa, right? You would never say Wisconsin. Cranberries, I wouldn't know where to begin guessing, but I certainly wouldn't say Wisconsin.
I'm not gonna lie, I would have no idea where a cranberry was plentiful.
Wait, I would probably say
Like whey protein?
I would probably say somewhere in Iowa or even further west.
Or everywhere.
A plain state, I would say.
Maybe, yeah.
Ginseng root, I would have no idea where even ginseng. I would probably say California,
That is
somewhere
just
on the west
that,
coast.
I mean,
but-
like that is like
yeah.
just super random.
So hey, congratulations, Wisconsin! You're not as uncultured as I once thought you were. So there you go. And that is our segment, That's So Wisconsin, and it is brought to you by
Will's Northwoods Inn, 3030 North Racine. For more information about all their specials and the fun stuff they have going on, they do trivia during the week. They actually have really good specials for those of us who are on a drinking budget. The website is www.northwoodsinn.com.
All right, so here's a story that I found for you this week, and it's not. I took a little turn from my typical stories that I read, only because I thought this was interesting by the topic, by the list that's given, and I want to see if you know who these 10 people are. Some of them I know you know. The others I'm curious to know if you know who they are. But this is an article from GQ, and it's the 10 greatest athletes of the future. So they've listed 10 athletes that are going to be the greatest athletes, but yet have yet to achieve that. They're 10 greatest athletes of the future.
Are they professionals
They're
now?
currently, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like they're 12-year-old kids. These are actual
Because
professionals.
I don't have a list of those people.
So I'll
That I'm
tell
willing
you
to admit.
after we read the list how many of these 10 that I actually knew. Number 1 is Odell Beckham Jr., wide receiver, football.
Giants.
You know him.
Yep.
Mallory Pugh.
Got nothing. That's an unfortunate last name.
It takes guts, not to mention huge talent, stainless steel self-confidence, and charm for someone who's still basically just a kid to shake up the rights and rules of her sport until Mallory Pugh came along. Skipping college and going straight to the pros was something of a phenomenon. But last year, Pugh bent the way things work, like a perfect free kick.
Sorry, last year, Pew bent the way.
Yep. First, she deferred enrollment at UCLA to play in the Under-20 World Cup, and then she turned pro without playing a single college game. She's a 19-year-old soccer player. Yes.
Okay. All right, if someone were to just show me a list of soccer players, and at like a young age, skipping and going, like I think that all makes sense, considering all of our teams, other than like an Abby Weinbach and stuff
Right.
like that, people who played forever, they're all like 19. So,
All right, so far you know you 1 out of 2.
Well, yeah.
1 out of 2. That's where I was.
I know everyone's shocked that I'm not up on the female soccer players.
Well, let's go 1 for 3, Jason. John Florence. Do you know John Florence?
I don't, and I why does he have the same name twice?
The 10 greatest athletes of the future. I'm going to read the first 2 words in this paragraph only.
Okay.
Surfing is.
Oh boy.
Moving on. Carl,
That's almost as good as the parents' best tweets.
Oh, don't worry. Next segment.
Here we go.
Number 4, Carl Anthony Towns. Do you know who he is?
No, it sounds. I know I've read it. I don't know why.
Carl Anthony Towns isn't just the NBA's best young center. He's absurdly a skilled player that is one of the best in the game.
I think I read about him when he was drafted.
So, 1 out of 4.
I wouldn't know.
You're 1 out of 4. I was 2 out of 4 at this point.
You know who he was?
I know who Carl.
Well, you worked for sports station.
That's the only
for
reason
17
I ever
years.
talk about it. Yeah.
I sat on my fucking couch.
All right. Here we go. Christian Pulisic.
No.
Christian Pulisic. Want to take a guess?
I think I'm going to be 1 out of 10.
Take
here,
a guess.
Is he a swimmer?
No, he's not. That's a good guess, though.
Pool. That's all I got. Is he a pool player?
He's a soccer player as well.
Boy.
He's a soccer player. All right, so you're 1 out of 5. I'm 2 out of 5 there. Simone Biles.
Gymnastics.
Gymnastics. There you go. That's 3. We know who she is. And it's funny that she's on the list of the 10 greatest athletes of the future when she's one of the greatest athletes right now in her sport.
Well,
right?
yeah, but she's still young, so
Right.
yeah,
Very true.
she could win multiple Olympic titles.
Number 6 here. I believe this is 6. Are we at 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Actually, 7. So you're 2 out of 6. Joel Embiid.
Who? What?
Joel Embiid.
Embiid? No.
Yeah, EMBID.
Yeah, no.
Also an NBA college star.
Okay.
Or a basketball star. So that's 7. Here we go. Jordan Spieth.
Isn't he a tight end? No, that's Spaeth. Jordan Spaeth is a tight end. I don't know.
Former
who Jordan,
Steeler.
Yeah, I don't. Oh no, Brown and I don't know who.
Jordan Spieth, one of the best golfers in the world today.
Okay, yeah.
Jordan
You
Spieth.
watch golf.
That I knew because
the only
I love
thing that
Jordan
makes
Spieth.
me want to jump off the roof more than baseball is golf.
Okay.
On television. I could probably have fun watching it like in person, but never. No, it's.
Are you ready for this one?
Oh boy.
Number 9.
Yep.
Ashima Sarashi.
And
Ashima Sarashi.
sounds like what I put on her sandwich tonight. I don't know who that is.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to read
Who
10
is
words. I'm going to read 10 words in this paragraph. Hang on. 10 words from this paragraph about Ashima Sarashi.
Seriously, how is that not a spice?
Would you believe that the youngest, most talented rock climber?
Dude,
I'm moving on. Hang on. I didn't write the article.
I know.
So you
Rock
didn't
climber?
That's
Not
know.
a fucking
You're
sport.
2 out of 9.
Oh my god.
Don't blame the article,
I'm
hater.
not blaming the article. How is rock climbing a sport?
I didn't write it.
They're going to be the greatest athlete?
Would you believe that the youngest, most talented rock
Oh,
climber?
yeah, exactly. Congrats on rock climbing.
And the last one. So you're going for number 3. You're going for 30%.
I'm not gonna get it.
You're not going to get this one.
None of this depresses me.
It shouldn't. Connor McDavid. Sounds like a made-up name,
It
but
totally does. It sounds like a star who's got an unfortunate last name. who
Connor
changed it.
McDavid.
Oh, that's like that's like Chad Montana. Who is Connor McDavid? I don't know.
He's a hockey player.
Okay.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So of the
I
the
barely
list of
know
the,
anyone in our own town.
the 10 greatest athletes of the future, you knew 3, I knew 4.
All right. Yeah. Well, because why would we know anything about some of those
I'm
sports?
going to start watching more rock climbing. I need to start watching more of the ESPN
Is it
Ocho.
televised?
I don't know.
Rock climbing's not televised.
Only if they fall and
Oh my-
die.
Well, yeah, I don't want to watch that either. All right.
Well, Bob, looks like she won't compete in the afternoon segment of our event today.
Yeah, I was gonna
She's
say,
dead.
well, I guess round 2 is not going to work out because she's at the bottom.
Let's congratulate Teresa, who moves on because her opponent died. She fell off the rock wall.
I'm going to read this headline, and I would
Yeah.
like you to read some paragraphs below.
Sure.
Headline of this beautiful article, and I'm not going to lie, the Mirror has become the source of my entertainment. I used to
guess
read
so.
a lot of like Mashable
Yeah.
and things like that. Huffington Post
Oh,
has been
boy.
getting kind of brutal. The headline of this article is Blood Testing Company Hires Man with UK's Smallest Penis to Front Campaign Saying There's Nothing Wrong with a Little Prick.
Ant Smith, A-N-T, Ant Smith. Here, let me go back up to the top
I'm
part
a
there.
little surprised about how does this guy know he has this? Like, did the UK
Right.
judge everybody?
They had a small penis contest. Here, go back to. I was going to read the paragraph underneath the headline here. All right, Ant Smith, known for his 3.5-inch penis, is the new face of Thriva,
Yeah, it's Thriva.
the world's first preventative health service that allows people to proactively conduct blood tests.
Now,
All
so
right,
are you
can-
getting where they're going with this? They are using a penis to utilize a thing that's like a prick that's an injection kind of. So yeah,
The
that's
man with the
an
UK's
odd
smallest
way to do
penis
it.
has been hired by a blood testing company to front their campaign, telling people there's nothing wrong with a little prick. Ant Smith, author of the Small Penis Bible, is helping spread
It's like
the
the
message
clown union. Oh my god!
that people can use home blood kits to keep track of their health with just a little prick.
I mean, I don't know if we need to keep going, but yeah,
Oh,
here we
I
go.
do.
All
I
right.
want to know more about this. Billboards around London show the
Oh,
author,
billboards.
known for his 3.5-inch manhood, which he named Shorty,
Oh my
brandishing a picket sign encouraging the general public to check their blood. The campaign was today unveiled by blood testing company Thriva, the world's first preventative health service that allows people to proactively conduct blood tests and send them for analysis from the comfort of their own home.
With tiny, tiny penises.
Mr. Smith, who's 50, said this campaign with Thriva is the perfect way to spread the word about preventative health, good mental health, and good physical health. What's on the inside of the body, not just the outside. While playful, if it's a serious message, we all will be better off if we properly monitor what's happening inside our bodies, and we perhaps can't see what's going on in a mirror. Now, you do realize what's going to happen, the consequences, and I guess it's probably the wrong word.
Talk about a glass half full kind of guy.
But you know what's going to happen out of this guy, right? The number of women that are going to want to be with him.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so congrats on the most twisted marketing campaign I've ever seen.
That's great.
Okay.
That's really good.
What do you got?
All right, moving on to dumb criminals. I got two quick ones for you today.
Oh wait, hold on. We don't need to read the article. Just the second article I had, and this is
yeah.
We don't
Just
need stats.
It doesn't need to be.
Let's just go into the topic.
The topic is enough.
For the third year running, Chicago is the leading city for rat population.
Congratulations,
All
Chicago.
right.
Well done,
Yay.
everybody.
3
Good
years
job.
ago.
Good job, Chicago.
We should add that to the list of potential future athletes.
Here's dumb criminals for today. I have two quick stories. Our first one comes from us from Boston, Massachusetts, where Juan Lopez was on the run from the cops who tried to question him on assault and battery charges. He led them on a chase in his Toyota Camry, eventually losing them and ditching the Camry in a shopping center parking lot. It was at that point, for reasons known only to our friend, that he walked into an Osprey wireless store and asked if they were hiring. They were, and the manager took him into his office for an interview. It went well enough that the manager asked him to fill out an application, which he was working on when the cops spotted the Camry in the parking lot. Next thing you know, there were cops and a canine officer checking out the area. The manager saw what was happening, stepped outside, asked what was going on. The cops explained what was going on. He tells them that he has a guy they're looking for inside his office filling out a job application. The cops walk in, and there he was, still working on the job application.
Oh.
Gets away from police, decides to go into an Osprey wireless where Jeremy would have his wireless service if he was in Boston, and he was filling out his job application. What a clown.
Oh, my cousin and his phone. Actually, the funny thing is Jeremy I believe has T-Mobile, but he,
No, I think it's Cricket Wireless with a jitterbug
but
phone.
He's still burning my show to the app.
If he could, though,
to CDs.
He would get an Osprey wireless phone. And our second one comes to us from Sacramento, California, where the police received a call of a man loitering in the Miners Reserve Nature Preserve. Upon arrival, the police found the man to be hostile, and they attempted to place him under arrest, and that's when he had a great idea to protect himself. After putting up a struggle, the man dropped drawer, and he peed on the officer's shoes.
Can you stop there?
He was cuffed and charged with possession of, guess, methamphetamine and drug paraphernalia.
I was going to say, urine, like public urination. Oh,
so
my
he puts up
God.
a fight. He stops putting up a fight.
The balls on this guy. That's amazing.
The cops take a break for a second, pulls his pants down, and urinates on their shoes. There you go.
Oh,
our dumb criminals of the day. One
my
peeing on
safe
shoes,
word is pineapple juice,
and the other one filling out a job application while on the run from the law.
Oh, seriously,
all right, so that's
these guys.
Dumb criminals. Now that brings us into our weekly segment, and this is episode 12, Muscular Beavers. Baticola Ferrari discuss everything. Our segment with Jason Ferrari, dumb apps.
All right, so yeah, the trend of dumbness continues. I'm gonna, let's see, as usual, like I write them down, I think of an order, and now as I'm reading them again, I'm going to adjust the order. You know what, first one, Matt, I find this to be kind of funny. So you remember the app Hang Time, where you throw your iPhone in the air?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay,
I've broken 2 phones since that episode.
Yeah, I mean, it's really fun. I can't stop. Like I had to it made me get the insurance. But there's an app apparently called Send Me to Heaven. Exact same concept, except what it has on Hang Time is it's available on the Android platform.
Oh, hey! Welcome to the idiot world, Android
idiots.
owners.
Yes,
Right.
okay.
Very nice.
All right. Number 2, the human to animal translator. Apparently, it makes what people reviewing it horrifically annoying sounds that in no way can any animal relate or respond to other than to run. They said it's like the digital version of a squeak toy, except the dog or the animal cannot destroy it.
Well, they could.
They could attack the owner if they're playing. Yeah, but so there is no thing that exists other than discipline exercises that can actually affect an animal's behavior. So that's just dumb. Okay, this one, Obama trampoline, I swear this is a real thing. And whoever designed this has a bunch of people, Obama, past presidents, and random politicians jumping on trampolines in the Oval Office, which I believe perfectly encapsulates what's happening right now.
Right.
Clown show in the Oval Office, but some person from the right designed it for some reason to have Obama jumping on a trampoline, and now it's turned into various politicians jumping on trampolines in the Oval Office.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Okay. If you could do me a favor, because now I can't read.
Yeah, that's fine.
This next one.
Man trainer?
Is called the Man Trainer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's the description of Man Trainer. Tired of boys with a Z staring at your boobs.
Yeah,
Tell the offending dude to strap your iPhone to his head, and this app... You almost spit on your carpet. That's great. That was almost twice in doing this these shows.
Oh my God!
Strap your iPhone to his head, and this app will use an accelerometer to sense which direction he's looking. If he's checking out your cleave, the app will make a screaming sound. Although, if you're at a point where a guy is willing to let you strap an iPhone to his head, he's probably also open to hearing your needs verbally and adjusting his behavior accordingly. Wow. That is ridiculous.
Okay.
Boy, is that dumb.
I mean, that one actually I should have rotated, but this one is just disgusting.
Yep.
Toilet paper dragging.
All right, so here's the description that you copied and pasted this.
That's all I do. This is not my writing.
Right. If you find this app on a friend's phone, wash your hands immediately. Dude has been playing with his iPhone while sitting on the toilet, or at least that's what toilet paper dragging claims it's meant for. The moments in the bathroom just before you reach for real toilet paper and need to practice your dragging motion on something virtual.
So, yeah, it's an app where you're sitting on the toilet.
So you can practice unrolling
toilet paper on your phone while you're shitting. And that's the continuation of the apps that people are getting paid for.
That's another edition of Dumb Apps with Jason Ferrari here on the Abaticola and Ferrari Discuss Everything podcast. This is episode 12, Muscular Beavers. We are brought to you by Mickey Finn's, Lake County's original brew pub, 345 North Milwaukee Avenue in Libertyville. Back after this.
Poop again! He called the shit poop!
All right, welcome back into episode 12, Muscular Beavers, Baticola, Ferrari Discuss Everything. This is segment number 3, and these are the best tweets of the week, and I stumbled across this again, so I have to do it. It's from the Huffington Post, and these are the funniest tweets from parents this week, according to the Huffington Post. Remember, these are the funniest tweets from parents this week.
I told Matt last, I listened back to our show, and I'm more entertained by remember.
This is not us saying it. It's the Huffington Post saying these are the funniest tweets from parents this week. And this is at Nittykins. Okay. And this is the first one, but I'm a youth soccer coach and a soccer dad. So half of all little kids' soccer games are spent yelling, "Wrong way, wrong way."
I feel like that's factual. It's not.
Remember, these are the funniest tweets
it's not funny.
of the week, according to Huffington Post. And this is at Jen H. Scott. For a kid who thinks cowboy boots and swim trunks are a good combination, my 4-year-old sure is meticulous about picking out which pumpkin to take home.
I kind of find that one funny because kids, they will roll out of the house in like that outfit. Cowboy boots seems to be like the thing. I think when kids discover those, they don't want to give them up.
Was that funny enough to make you laugh out loud, though?
Not clearly you were here for my reaction to.
And remember, these are the funniest tweets from parents, according to Huffington Post.
That one's the only one that I at least smirked at.
This is from at Cheeseboy22.
Oh boy.
When my kids make me food out of Play-Doh, I always eat it, and that's what makes me a better dad than you.
Yeah.
This is from Out Numb Mom. This is at Out Numb Mom. If you're not formulating and assembling an essential project at 10 p.m. the night before it's due, is your kid really in middle school?
Yeah, that noise that my stomach just made is my only response.
This is from Ashley Astrew.
Oh boy.
At Ashley Astrew. I'm not saying kids ruin your life. I'm just saying mine told her teacher all about my chin hair. These are the funniest tweets this week, according to Huffington Post.
Dude, consistently, the handles are better than anything they say.
This is from at Exploding Unicorn.
It's a repeat. We got a repeat. Oh, my God.
From the other room, I heard my wife yell, "That's not chapstick, that's glue." I think I'll let her handle this one.
All right, that's funny. I think that one's funny because that got me to laugh.
This is from at One Funny
Actually,
Mummy.
That's horrible. Oh, another repeat.
Another repeat. These are the funniest tweets from parents, according to the Huffington Post. Being a parent is mostly just yelling, "Wash your hands," whenever you hear a toilet flush.
Yeah.
And the last one from at Parker Lawyer. At Parker Lawyer, I'm feeling yucky tonight, so everyone in my family is catering to me.
That's it?
Just kidding. The dog looks slightly concerned, but that's about it.
All right.
Those were this week's funniest tweets from parents, according to the Huffington Post.
Okay, let's get to tweets that serve some kind of a purpose.
I thought those served... Oh, there was hours of laughter is what that served.
Oh, my God. Nonstop. Knee slappers.
People are now pausing the podcast because they need to,
they need to go do that.
Regain their composure.
Actually, or they're well, I guess you can't rewind. They're clicking backwards. That's how old I am. They're rewinding.
Or you're hitting the back button on your CD.
Yes, to hear Jeremy, to hear me say knee slapper again.
Knee slapper. All right, and this tweet, and these are actual tweets we really do like. This is from at Real Terry Boers. That's
Close
my guy.
to home. This
Terry
is
Boers.
Outstanding.
And this tweet came out earlier today. Book and signing tour starts November 15th from the performance stage at the Score with Jason and Dan. Listeners will be invited. Stay tuned.
This is great.
So Terry Boers has his book that will be out next month. And it is his memoirs, 25 years in Chicago sports talk. I'm looking forward to reading that book from Terry Boers, and you can hear more about it on the Score. He'll be on with Dan and Jason from their performance studio, which apparently they're going to invite listeners to attend. So that'll be Terry's first real big day back on the radio. He's been on over the time he's left, but this will be a first big appearance for him with the boys.
I'm happy to hear it because, like we said in our very first episode, that's one of the best radio broadcasts I've ever heard. Produced by my co-host.
Yeah, it was my last day, January 5th of 2017. Last production as a guy at the Score.
Here's a good one.
This is from
our
your guy.
This is not just my guy, like our guy. Like this is JJ Watt is one of my favorite athletes. Period.
Yeah,
good dude. Obviously, from the charitable stuff he does, and a complete badass on the field, but. He's had some tweets, but we're doing tweets of the week, so we don't want to go like too far back. But he had some very, very good stuff to say about how much he just feels bad that he's letting his team down because of the injury. But I really appreciate this because this is an amazing thing to me when more than one family member is a professional athlete.
It's insane.
It's just crazy, right?
Right.
But I mean, it's good genes running this family. And his tweet is, and it's at JJ Watt, right?
Yep.
It's happy birthday at _TJ Watt, his brother who plays for the Packers. I'll be living vicariously through you and at Derek Watt 34. Wait, who's Derek Watt? Does he have another brother?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Jesus, 3 of them.
No, Jesus Watt does not play in the NFL.
Well, I don't know, but a guy with a beard and sandals could be fun to watch. I'll be living vicariously through you and at Derek Watt 34 the rest of his season. Parentheses, except for Christmas Day. That's funny because that's the Packers play the Texans.
The Texans, and the great thing about this tweet is the picture of his brother for
is
intros coming out of the tunnel.
One of the best
it's
tunnel photos you've ever seen.
I mean, it's a great still shot, but the dude has got some jumps.
Good
Lord. I mean,
Lord.
It's not surprising for a pro athlete, but that guy is off the ground.
Seriously, that is an out.
Yeah,
I mean,
very cool.
That's one of the better athlete photos I've seen in a long time. Okay, next one. At Steve, what's his?
It's at Steve Martin to go.
Okay.
TOGO.
He is an excellent follow. It's whenever you see him interview, he is kind of docile. He's not like the guy that you see on screen. And then, outside of that, he's like an amazing banjo player.
I love Steve Martin.
And
I always have.
I would really like to go see that Steve Martin Short tour that's
for
happening.
sure.
I think that would be just hysterical. But he always does stuff like this. And his recent tweet this week is, be sure to see Amy Kimmel on Jimmy Schumer tonight, which just cracks me up because that's totally, if you follow him, that's totally his style. This one is very, very special to both Matt and I because this man was in our broadcasting class at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting.
Yep, his name is Matt Drufke, and he's a stand-up comic, and he's a very, very funny individual. You can follow him on Twitter at @HateMattDrufke. That's correct.
That's even better.
HATE @HateMattDrufke, DRUFKE, @HateMattDrufke. And he says, I have enough body hair where I fear hunters who would want to make me a really soft throw rug out of me. Who would want to make a really soft throw rug out of
you
me?
threw in an extra me, but yeah.
Yeah, I sure did.
And he does this all day. He'll do political stuff. He does it, and it's just hilarious. It's a great follow. It's a great follow. So I highly recommend it.
Yeah, at Hate Matt Drufke. So that's our guy,
All right.
Matt Drufke.
And then the last one, we're going to have more, but the last one today, as Matt scrolls over, is a guy that we're really, I would love to have Matt Drufke in studio, but a guy that I hope and I think we will have in studio or at the very least on a phone interview at some point.
Probably a phone interview since he's out of state. I'm not flying him in unless
but
you
Matt
are.
Miller is, maybe. Yeah, here's a Greyhound ticket.
There's a Greyhound.
Or just a Greyhound to ride over on. Here's a
fast.
Greyhound saddle. But one of my favorite NFL analysts, especially about the draft, but he's great on pro stuff too. Matt Miller.
Yep, he's at NFL Draft Scout, at NFL Draft Scout. He's a guy I had on my weekend shows years and years ago. I think he had like 5,000 or 6,000 Twitter followers when I first knew him. And he's blown up,
now.
and rightfully so, because the guy is exceptionally talented at evaluating the NFL. And his tweet was, guys, I'm out of popsicles. This is not good.
Yes. So he does really in-depth analysis all day long, but periodically he talks about stuff like this, or he loves beer. He talks about the beers that he's drinking, and he's a good dude. I'm looking forward to getting him on the show. But I just love that in the midst of all the analysis of not only what's happening now with the draft picks that happened in 2017, but with the potential guys who are coming out next year, he will randomly talk about. Apparently, he's out of popsicles.
Yeah, there was one that I saw before this tweet from him, which I thought was just. God, it made me laugh out loud. Where did it go? I don't know how long ago it was, though. Shoot. It was something about, like, when you're out drinking, you should have an app on your phone that locks other apps on your phone.
Oh, my God. That's not a dumb app. That would be great.
That'd be a great app. Yeah, the app somehow knows how much you've had to drink, and then it automatically locks other apps on your
remember
phone.
there is the one app where it was supposed to have a breathalyzer on it, so if you were trying to drunk dial, it would lock your ass out.
That would really work.
That's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, it's a great one.
I don't really ever do that. But
so that's tweet of the week's. It was led off to you by, of course, the people at Huffington Post who thought those were the funniest tweets from parents this week, and then we actually had some
and then
ones
the rest
that were actually really
from
good.
Our Twitter machine.
Yep. And here's our inspirational stories that we put together for you for episode 12, Muscular Beavers. This is from the goodnewsnetwork.org, and here's the story. The headline, barber lies down on floor to cut hair of 6-year-old boy with autism.
Yeah, this story is amazing. I am blind and I cannot see the complete.
I mean, you know the gist of the story.
Yes.
You can, yeah.
But so this child is like on the far end of the spectrum of autism, and does not like to be touched or have very much human interaction at all. And his parents brought him in for a haircut, and this barber apparently, from what I read, he's not by any means experienced with people on the autism spectrum, and figured out a way to make this kid comfortable enough to cut his hair. And the only way that the kid will let anybody, be anywhere near him is if he's laying down and he's not looking at you. And this guy got on the floor.
Yeah, so the barbershop's in Quebec, and it's called Jacob's Salon. And the picture of the barber here, Jay, in the story is a
I
guy.
kind of want that barber. Seriously, Dago Tea Party, he needs to be in it.
It's a T-shirt. He cut the sleeves off. It looks like it's a homemade sleeveless T-shirt, and he is tattooed up from, it looks like, his knuckles all the way to his shoulders.
Yep.
And on his chest as well. He has a massive beard. If you're watching the Cubs game, it's a Justin Turner style beard, but it's dark in color.
He's got a chain wallet.
Kid's
key.
So if you would look at him, I would probably say this is a guy who would not want to be bothered with cutting the hair of a child who's autistic, who's 6 years old.
Quite the opposite.
Quite the opposite. Just by, if you're going to judge a book by its cover, that's what you'd see. And the young boy who is hyposensitive and hypersensitive to having his hair touched, it makes it pretty much unbearable for him to get haircuts. And having two boys who are healthy,
they don't want to get
little
haircuts.
guys, and Jack hates getting haircuts, and so it was, I could understand where this mom would be coming from. I just the terrible experience, not only for her son but for her too, as the embarrassment you feel as a parent, because you feel like everyone's judging you when your kid acts up. But here's a kid with autism laying on the floor. This barber who you look at him, wouldn't picture him to do this, laying on the floor next to him to cut his hair. And apparently the young kid got so comfortable with this guy.
He got up in the barber chair.
Got up and sat in the barber chair.
And I mean, I know firsthand, people like close friends who have autistic children and family friends who have autistic children, and I've had personal interaction with them, and it's like, it's very hard to connect.
Yeah. And
the fact that this guy made such an impact on this kid and made it, look at him, he's so comfortable. Like,
right.
Yeah. It's on the Good News Network. It's on the homepage.
It's goodnewsnetwork.org. You can find it there. The young boy's name is Wyatt. It's Jacob's Salon, and Franz Jacob, that's his name, is Franz. You wouldn't picture that either. Is the barber that's laying on the floor with him. And the family of young Wyatt posted this on their Facebook page, and they entitled it Everyday Hero, talking about Franz Jacob and what he did for their son. So good for him.
This really makes me happy. I really like this story.
Here's another story that I loved. I saw this on the news earlier this week, and so I pulled it up and printed it out. Oliver Davis, he's a 6-year-old aspiring member of law enforcement, has no problem sharing his love with the men and women in blue. He says, "I don't need Spider-Man, Superman, or Batman. I need these guys," he told ABC affiliate KNBC. Oliver not only patrols his neighborhood streets dressed in a police costume and glasses, but he also has an honorary badge given to him by the local police department. On October 9th, his mother, Brandy Davis, posted a video of Oliver and his friend Moria to Facebook, in which the two children invited police officers across Kansas City, Kansas, over to his yard to enjoy some lemonade and donuts. So they bought donuts from Dunkin' Donuts, and he made homemade lemonade. And Oliver, 6-year-old, says, "We want to remind police officers that people still care."
6 years old.
On Friday,
okay, now I do have some faith in youth.
About 100 police officers from 10 different police stations across 2 states.
Wow.
They showed up. They heard about it. They showed up to his house in Kansas City, where he'd set up a table complete with balloons, ice cups, lemonade, and various kinds of donuts. They greeted him with fist bumps and handshakes. Oliver said, "I want to be nice to police officers. They're my superheroes." And I just thought it was great that a 6-year-old kid had that kind of mindset.
Wow.
And then to see the police officers respond the way they did. I mean, cops, over 100 cops from 10 different departments from 2 states driving out there, and it really wasn't even it wasn't even Oliver who wanted the pictures taken. It was the cops. The cops wanted, and there was hugs and bumps and handshakes and high fives. And I mean, these cops wanted to take pictures to post on their own social media with this kid. So really, really great story.
Well, honestly, it's not just the political landscape that is a little messed up. And for some obvious reasons, there's some toughness with the police and how people feel about them. But, I respect the hell out of them, and this is a cool story. And you know what? I think that's why they're reacting to it. It's positive, and it's a kid. It's a kid who's smart. What 6-year-old stands up for the police? I mean, it's not just an inspirational story. It's like a necessary scenario. I'm glad that it's good parenting, man.
So 2 great stories there, and that brings us to today in history, and is things that have significant happenings in our history and then the world's history
on our day of recording
on this particular day. And today, what is today? Today is the 19th. So it's October 19th, and October 19th.
This one is my favorite one that we've
done so far. Okay, this is October 19th of 1781.
Do you know how crazy that this is the day in history in 1781 that Cornwallis surrendered at Yorktown? That's when America officially won their independence from England.
Right. That was when Mel Gibson and the Patriot, they had the big battle.
Yeah. They won. There was a
because
stabbing with a flag. And
see, I'm glad you did this because now that I know Cornwallis is his last name, I thought it was Cornwallis. I thought his name was Corn.
Yes. It was General Corn.
General
Corn Wallace.
His cousin was P. Wallace.
Yeah, Wallace, Corn.
Corn to the front.
Yes. So that is an extremely significant day in history. Moving to the next one.
If you don't know anything about it, rent the Mel Gibson's The Patriot, and you'll learn all about history.
Yes, I mean it's like the what is it? Crypt Notes, the Crypt Notes on film.
This is from 1985.
I love this. The first Blockbuster store opened. I didn't actually realize
remember
it was that
that?
old. No, but I remember Blockbuster.
No, I mean, but
I don't remember it being around in '85.
That was the only way you saw movies, man. You went to either the movie theater or you went to Blockbuster.
Like the ghetto ass neighborhood.
There's still a Family Video open. Why?
I know.
Why are they still open?
And they're everywhere.
What are they doing?
It's got to be the porn set. Well, no, it can't even be that because they always had like the little.
You don't even need to. You get free
get it
porn
free on the internet. So I don't know. I'm
gonna have to go into one because
I
I think there's one. Where do I drive past it? On Ogden, maybe on my way out to work.
I don't know.
If I go that route,
I'm pretty sure
I'm gonna have to go into it and see. I will do that. I'm gonna go into a Family Video. I'm gonna video on my smartphone. I'm gonna record
it out on
my
our,
experience,
on
and I'll put it out on our at AFDE show
and the Facebooks.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they know who killed JFK because otherwise I don't know why they're still around. They have evidence of historical events that are not available to the general public.
We cannot shut down Family Video. They know who killed
They will
JFK.
shut down the government.
That's right. And you know who owns Family Video is Donald Trump. So 1985, Blockbuster makes its debut in the world, and October 19th, also 1985.
1985. I really love this one because Matt and I, I'm still gonna say young handsome men in our 40s, remember when MTV first came out. First video ever, for those of you who are not aware, was Video Killed a Radio Star.
I went to my Uncle Bob's house so I could see it. He's the only one in the family that had cable at the time.
Uncle Bob.
Uncle Bob.
But this was one of the most amazing things I had seen. I'd never seen anything like this. Take on Me. Do you remember that video with the pencil illustration?
Yep.
This helped them become #1 on the U.S. pop charts. It was like basically the first time that musical video television boosted someone to #1. A random ass band from Norway. Aha.
Yeah. That was it.
Cool.
If you don't remember the video, or if
was.
you're too young to remember music videos to begin with, because I don't think MTV plays the videos.
Yeah, there's not a lot of music videos on there.
So you can find the video, which was
mostly about like children being pregnant.
It was like a groundbreaking video as far as
it's still
great.
It's
still great song too. I'm glad that you did this because it brought me to a topic that I wanted to, well, not a topic, but something I wanted to mention. When I was driving here, Jay, I was flipping through the radio stations, the terrestrial radio.
Nice.
And there,
terrestrial radio. That's still a thing. You're listening to a podcast.
On the screen there, it'll give you the information, the radio station you're listening to, the name of the artist, the title of the song.
Well, you have a newer car, so it does stuff like that.
It does that, and so I need to pull it back up because it was something I thought maybe there was something wrong with my radio because it had listed. And I Googled it on the way here just to make sure that I wasn't my radio wasn't broken. It had listed as the artist of the song was Logic, Logic. Okay. It had listed the title of the song, Jay, as 1-800-273-8255. That is the actual artist and title is what it showed. So I Googled Logic 1-800, and this what popped up is a music video, and it was the song that I was listening to, Logic 1-800-273-8255. Now, if I'm somehow messing this up and I'm a complete idiot, then I apologize. But this is exactly what I'm reading. It's exactly what was on the screen of my car, featuring Alessia Cara and Khalid. So the official video So there's an artist named Logic, and there's a song called 1-800-273-8. I thought maybe something was wrong with the satellite radio
they
thing.
were actually saying if you're having a problem with your radio, you need to call this person.
It said Logic 1-800-273-8255 on B96, and I'm like, well, maybe something's wrong. I should call. Maybe B96 is giving
you what's wrong. You're listening to B96.
Well, I was flipping through the stations, and that came on the screen. So I was like, wow, that's pretty interesting. So there you go, Logic and 1-800 find the number. That's that.
They're totally ripping off Jenny.
Which or 8675309.
That was apparently Jenny's phone number.
Yeah, that's it. All right, that moves on to our final bit here in our final segment.
Yeah, man, I like it. We're gonna call these bits from now on.
Here we go. This is our rapid fire section. We ask each other questions. Here's the first question to you, Jason Ferrari.
How are we doing? We've done it 2 different ways.
It doesn't matter.
Are we alternating or are we doing?
I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm going to read the first one, and then if you read the one, then it'll alternate. If not, then we'll go from there. You can't plan everything in life, you know. No. If you could make a 30-second speech to the entire world, what would you say?
There's no way in hell I can give you a 30-second speech out of nowhere. But how about the topic?
What would the topic be?
Something about love versus hate. I'm on
your track, and I would make it very simple, and I would say just practice the golden rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Make it very simple, and I think that would change the world.
I'm so taxed by what's going on.
I would think it would change the world.
Yeah.
If you treat people, even strangers, the way that you'd want them to treat you, the world would be a different place. Agreed. It's really that simple. There's really nothing more to it. Go ahead, ask a question.
All right. This is not groundbreaking, but I just thought it was funny. Do you like to sing in the shower?
I do. I actually love to sing in the shower.
All right. So, I mean, is it show tune? I'm picturing show tunes, but or
you'll be great. You'll be great. Yeah, no, I turned it into Mormon.
Gotta have the whole world on a plane.
No, I generally do. I have a whole set that I do. It's yeah.
I'm so glad I opened this can of worms.
Yeah, we go Barry Manilow into REO Speedwagon into show tunes.
Shut up.
I'm just kidding.
There's no way in hell. Well, okay. I believe Barry.
Yeah.
I do not believe REO Speedwagon and show tunes. I feel like you should incorporate it into your repertoire.
You know what? I love to sing in the shower. I just don't anymore because my showers basically are about 90 seconds now. It's get in, wash up, do your hair, get out. Yeah, there's no time to stand there and sing.
Or, if my back is hurting, I lay in the fetal position on the floor with as hot as water as possible. But yeah, okay.
So we know you love to sing in the shower.
I don't anymore.
You just don't?
No. Actually, this shower doesn't have very good acoustics.
Oh, man, it sucks. Got to move. If you had all the money in the world but still had to have some kind of job, what would you choose to do? So you didn't have to work to support yourself. You had all the money in the world. What job would you do?
This is the same answer to the dream job question, and it's nonprofit, honestly. If it's not, well, I want it to be charitable in whatever nature possible. If it's for people in need, even like abused animal, like something along those lines. I want to. Yeah, if I had all the money in the world, I would try and figure out a way to help someone.
That's good. I would open a restaurant and /bar. Always been my dream. And if the success of the restaurant didn't depend on me eating or living, then I would definitely do that for sure. 100%.
Well, I'll tell you what. I feel like if somehow either of us come across a large sum of money in addition to doing the nonprofit, I want myself, Big Al, Matt, Chris, and you to own a restaurant.
Sure.
Because I think.
As long as Big Al can get Mr. T to be the bodyguard.
Oh yeah,
and the bouncer.
That's a story for a different episode. But no, I think that would be awesome. Because can you imagine coming into a restaurant and wherever you go, one of us is there to talk to you?
Yeah, people would leave.
No, they wouldn't. They'd move in.
I'm sorry, sir, you can't live here. We're closing. You need to leave now.
All right. Well, simple. What's your worst pet peeve? What just drives you crazy?
That's easy. You know what? It's misspellings and poor grammar in public places, particularly like menus at restaurants. If there's really terrible grammar, I don't want to eat there.
No, I agree with you.
And then in a more casual setting, it's like people that use their and their wrong and texting at the wrong your. That irritates me.
Everyone, if you don't know that by now after listening to 12 episodes. We like people who can, speak, read, and write correctly.
Who can talk the English well?
Who could talk the English. Mine. Oh God, I have a few. Let me try and think. What would be the worst? Here's one along those lines. It's still grammar. Like I know we've become like the grammar police, and I'm not saying that Matt and I are the most highly educated or most intelligent people on the planet.
Even close.
But
not even close.
You know, we speak the English. I hate when people go on like 9-paragraph rants on social media. Clearly, you can't do it on the Twitter because you're limited to 140 characters.
Thank God, Donald Trump.
No, but who go into a rant and then misspell all kinds of shit, and I'm just like, oh my God! As I'm reading through it, I'm already irritated by the rant, and then they're I'm like, oh my God, yeah. So, it's seriously, I have some pet peeves. I have a lot of them, but that one, ugh.
All right, when you're 90 years old, what will matter most to you? You could be serious, or this could go funny.
Being alive.
Being alive and not pooping yourself.
Yeah.
That would be important.
Of being functionally alive.
Yeah, I still want to be able to control my own life.
Yeah.
At 90 years old.
I don't want to be like vacant. Yeah. That's important. What multiple set of items could you buy that would make the cashier very uncomfortable? Well, or the most uncomfortable, I should say.
Oh, boy.
God. All right.
Make the cashier most uncomfortable. Oh man, I would do this just to see the person's reaction.
Me too.
Yeah, for sure.
I've never been the guy who's embarrassed to buy stuff.
I would get here's what I would do. As I'm working through, I would go like to a Walgreens, and I would get condoms, adult diapers, Preparation H wipes,
and mayonnaise,
and some kind of spread. Maybe hummus.
Oh, that to me so much. Oh my God. Well, no, but you could cut that down. It could literally be condoms, adult diapers, and hummus.
No, I think the Preparation H wipes are key. Oh, and maybe those like cocktail toothpicks. What in the hell is going on in that guy's life?
I don't even think I could do, but
maybe like a rope and some duct tape,
a couple of light bulbs,
and a shovel.
Well, okay, I don't know what store you're at. Yeah, you're
at a medical mask.
Yeah, you're clearly
it's Walgreens.
No, I was gonna say you're maybe in a
happy.
small town where they have shovels and medical masks in the same.
And then while you're checking out, you guys got any 5-gallon drums? I need 10 of them. No?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, no, yeah. What are the things that are like behind the counter? You know, so you just you buy like a nail file.
Can I get 30 of those styrofoam coolers and some duct tape, please?
Hey, how many of those coolers do you have? I don't even care if they have lids. Just get that.
Wait, I'm not sure how many I need. Wait, how tall are you? Are you about 5'5"?
Yeah, come with.
What do you weigh? What do you think about?
Do you have you don't have a barcode on you, right? Can I take you with me?
Wait, about 135? All right. I think 6 coolers should fit you. Should do.
I need like at least a case of tampons, some teeth whitener. Let's see what else. Some what do you call them? You know what? I don't know what they're called anymore. So I'm gonna call them pantyhose, and some like chewable multivitamins. That
there you go.
just so you can walk by and be like, what do you think?
Wait, you know what you gotta do though? As you're in line, you take the pantyhose and you hold it up next to you. You're like,
oh yeah,
I don't know.
Sheer comfort,
right? Made for him.
I don't know. I've never been the guy. I remember the first time I ever had to go buy like stuff for my girlfriend, now my wife. I don't give a shit. Like I actually think it's funny, and I would no, but I loved seeing if I could like make them laugh or make them. I walk through because I'd buy like peanut butter and tampons and whatever else, and be like, this is a random purchase.
Peanut butter fixes the tampon.
Oh yeah. No, this just brought something. This makes me think of something though. I went to Costco once because in Madison, that's where prescriptions were affordable and super close to the house. So I got a prescription of Ambien.
Yeah.
Bath salts.
Oh wow.
Because Trish, she liked bath salts.
Perfect.
And pita chips. Dude,
what aisle are the killing sprees in?
Yeah, the person at Costco was like.
Yeah.
What the? I was like, hey man, You know, I like to take a bath and eat some pita chips. Don't judge me.
Dude, I thought of a time I went back in high school. Me and 3 of my buddies and like one of our high school youth leaders at our church. We went out one night, and our buddy Tom Stillwell, he was probably 6'2" or 6'3" tall. He was a taller guy, and he was a heavy set guy, and he had his own full Batman costume. Okay.
Okay, this is already amazing.
Yeah, and it was funny because it fits back to our time travel. We went into a Blockbuster, and Bill was videoing it, and we went into the Blockbuster, and Tom was dressed up as Batman, and so we just walked in with him, and he went to the counter and asked if they had his new movie.
Okay, that's actually amazing.
It was hysterical.
Oh, I mean, I think that's funny now.
Knowing Bill, he probably still has on videos somewhere. But could you imagine like a heavier set guy, high school kid walks in?
You guys have my new movie?
Excuse me. Do you have my new movie in stock?
And I will only rent it on Betamax.
Great. Very funny. All right, next question for you. What do you believe stands between you and complete happiness?
Myself.
That's a great answer. That's a really good answer, actually.
Yeah,
I would say that. For you, I was answering it for you as I was going through the questions. I was going to say your back pain.
Yeah, no, myself. I'm working on it.
Yeah, no, that's you know what? I had a slogan I developed a few months back for my own life, trying to get out of my own way. I think once I get out of my own way, it makes life a lot easier. Yeah,
and
good answer.
I fully agree with that and embrace that. I'm
very deep and philosophical here on the episode 12, Muscular Beavers.
Yes, because nothing says philosophical like Muscular Beavers. What kind of cult would you start?
Ooh.
Would you like to start?
Maybe one. Oh, that we dress as like characters from The Bodyguard. And we just sing Whitney Houston to each other.
All right, fine. Yeah, I'll just start a karaoke cult. We'll just sing to each other.
All right. Or one that worships me. I don't know. How's that? Is that okay? Does that work?
All right.
What would people say about you at your funeral?
I don't know.
I think for me, it's good riddance.
No, I don't know. He was funny and pretty much loved everybody that loved him back. And
is it time to go? I think people would say that.
Yeah, I was like, no. Are
we done?
No. It would be like the wedding where you're like, yeah, when does the open bar start?
Open bar. That's
open
right.
Bar, yeah.
Open bar.
There better
funeral.
be. Oh yeah, I need. I'm working on a will, and that will.
I'll make sure that happens for you.
Open bar.
If you go before me.
All right. Same.
I'll promise you, there's an open bar.
Same.
Shots lined up on the coffin.
Oh man, what like Bill Brasky?
We'll dump one all over your face.
Oh my god, yeah. No, actually, please use the app. Pour one out for my homies. The app.
Yeah, and we'll do the toilet paper app
no,
too.
Here's your dumb app, you dead bastard. Let's see. Oh, I like this one. What would be the worst buy one get one free sale?
Oh, the worst buy one get one free sale. Oh, like a flu shot.
Like a typhoid injection. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get it. So you're going to have to just no.
Here's your flu shot, sir. Oh, by the way, your lucky day. Here's a second one.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I have a 3.5-inch penis, and I want to talk about a.
I
want to talk about a prick.
How about a vasectomy? It's already done.
I'm not gonna lie, everyone in this clinic. My swimmers are pretty tough, and I'm gonna need to get 2 vasectomies.
They're super dead ladies. Don't worry about it.
Wait, no, I love that you took it there because apparently vasectomies are on sale.
We killed them twice.
2-for-1 vasectomies.
That's right.
Wait, like is that like for 2 guys? No, just it's for you.
It's for you.
It's a backup.
It happens twice.
It's a backup plan.
We're really gonna kill your sperm account.
Oh, sperm accounts. All right, well done, sir. Okay, what's your next one?
Oh, this is interesting. What would you change if you knew you were never going to die?
Nothing. No, I'm just kidding. Dude, if I'm not going to die, I'm just going to keep doing it. I don't know. I feel like I would put together a plan. Well, because, yeah, clearly I'm like OCD as fuck and I plan things. But I mean, like, put together a plan of things that I need to do, things that I want to do. And then if I knew I had unlimited time, I would just keep doing that and keep like evolving the plan.
Again, another deep thought from you there. Me, I'm going to go a little more on the simple level. What would I change if I knew I was never going to die? I would definitely change my eating and drinking habits for sure.
Drink more.
Oh, drink a lot more, and I would like Taco Bell and White Castle on a regular basis.
Yeah, we're gonna
and
eat the shit out of Philly Bros.
Oh, yeah.
Like that. I think we should eat that every week.
I would. Oh no, for sure.
And
but,
you need
but
to,
that's delicious food.
And we need to bring we
I
gotta
would
bring Santa.
I would
bring Santa.
I would if I was never gonna die, I would eat through the Taco Bell menu in a month. I would do McDonald's the following month. I'd have them bring back the McAfrica. I'd get the Bell Beefer.
Oh man,
I would do it all.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I have zero interest in going through the McDonald's menu.
I would, just because I'm never gonna die. It's never gonna kill me.
Yeah, but it tastes like shit.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
All right,
I did it.
Okay, fine.
There you go. That's my answer.
All right, no, I'm not
You're
judging.
judging it. You are.
I'm not
Judgmental
No,
bastard.
I'm not. I wouldn't eat the McDonald's menu.
What about Burger King? How about Jack in the Box? Arby's?
Never had Jack in the Box. Arby's.
I think once.
I couldn't even tell you what's on like the Burger King and the Arby's menu now.
I'm thinking burgers and like roast beef sandwiches.
Yeah, beyond like yeah. I mean, other than that.
Well, you know,
there's
has,
always weird shit.
Arby's has
Have you
quesadillas
seen,
and nachos and pizza.
Before Matt got here, I had the I had the TBS pregame show on.
Oh, yeah,
yay!
that's terrible. To watch
and during that, one of the commercials was the Arby's commercial with, what is it, Ving Rhames doing the voiceover.
We have the meats.
Yeah, and apparently in 2 days, Arby's has the venison.
Oh yeah,
So
I saw that on the social medias. You mentioned the Arby's and the Ving Rhames. One of the best commercials, and I think the commercials they do with Ving Rhames are spectacular. The one where they were advertising their own Philly cheesesteak sandwich was Ving Rhames singing the song to Will Prince's Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Was fantastic.
Will Smith.
Will Smith. What did I say?
Will Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah, same
Fresh
shit.
Prince.
Same shit.
Will Smith, Fresh Prince.
Will,
yeah.
whatever.
It was that's great. So those are good stuff. And I'll mention it since we mentioned it during our last break. The Sonic commercials are very good, even though I still have never eaten at a Sonic. I don't think I've ever even seen one in person. So
there was one by our house in Middleton. We tried it and it sucked.
Okay,
No,
well,
but here's actually something.
And this segment brought to you by Sonic.
Oh, no, here's something that is amazing though. So, I don't even need to get into, like, it was just a long night and an even longer morning, and I had a couple days off of work, so I decided to go, when we lived in Chicago, to go back with Trish to Madison. Mm-hmm. And we took like a different route. We actually drove like on Route 12, which is kind of like where you go through Lake Geneva, or you go to Lake Geneva through Lake Geneva. And I'm like, you know what? We kept going by places, and I love Wendy's, so I'm like, oh look, there's a Wendy's. We drove by like 16 Wendy's, and we drove by. I'm like, Sonic, we've never been there. Let's go there. We pull in. We're in the drive-through.
Were those two guys there or no?
No, they weren't. Yeah, those two guys who are taking Lipitor somewhere else, but. We're in the drive-through line. I swear to God, this young kid that looked like what's the hockey movie, like the classic hockey movie, with the
Ducks.
with the two way before that, with the two twins. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it's old.
Slapshot?
Yeah. This
Triplets.
dude comes
Triplets,
out
yeah.
looking like the guy from Slapshot,
Yeah.
and I swear to God, he walks up to our car and he goes, all the cooks just walked out, so we don't have any food. I'm like, well, Trish, it looks like we're not going to try Sonic. And it had already been just a ridiculous day leading up to it. So, yeah, that was my first Sonic experience.
There you go. Well, I've never had one yet, so maybe I never will.
I don't know, but like they have a lot of other stuff that sounds good. We got a burger and fries. We should try like the tots and stuff like
I would
that.
really encourage people to go there, and I would talk about it like I love it. Like I love the food only because the commercials I think are great, yet I've never eaten there. So
Those
maybe
two
I don't want to
randos.
ruin it. I don't want to ruin it and actually eat there and not enjoy it. So I'm great advertising for Sonic and never having eaten there.
Yeah, they're not going to sponsor us anymore.
It's like Red Robin too. I've
had Red
unlimited
Robin's good.
unlimited fries. Is that a thing? Right.
I think I didn't have that, but the burger was good. All right, next question.
Remember Cock Robin?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
love Cock
God.
Robin.
Yeah. Westmont.
Yeah, they were all over
Well,
the
yeah,
place.
but the only one I'd gone to was the one on Cass Avenue.
You used to go to Cock Robin after baseball games, little league games.
Well, I think that should be a name of the show. What would be the creepiest thing you could say while passing a stranger?
I'll see you tonight.
I like the way
Say it like Batman.
I like the way you're put together. Oh yeah, but more Batman-y.
Yes.
All right.
More Batman than Ben Affleck. I'll see you tonight.
Excuse me. Can you tell me where I can get adult diapers?
Oh, that would be creepy at all. I like that.
Cheap adult diapers.
Could you just say it?
No.
I'm going to kill you.
Excuse me. What's your name? Lisa? I have a coupon for adult diapers, but I can't find CVS.
There you go.
Give me the directions.
Lisa would be like, no, sir, I'm sorry.
My name's not Lisa. It doesn't matter. I just need the diapers.
I think that's all I want to ask.
That's all you got?
Yeah.
All right.
That's enough there. My
I like this one.
What do you
What
got?
would you name your boat?
My
I
broat?
came across... No, your broat.
broat.
I didn't say broat.
No, my broat.
Okay. Well, yeah, it would be a broat.
I know what Aunt Smith would name his boat. He'd call it Little Dinghy.
Oh.
The small wiener guy.
The guy who's got his new boat in the UK due to his sponsorship.
Right, and all the hot babes that'll be on it. I would name my boat... I would call it the Love Boat.
No, you would.
Yeah, I would. The
No.
Love Boat.
Just so you could sing the song?
Yeah.
Well, you might as well just sing it in the shower.
I do.
And like put it like a... Okay.
I've done that before.
I'm not gonna lie. As I go through things in my mind, I want the name of my boat to be Gator McBooberson.
Gator McBooberson.
Yeah,
That's a name.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
People be like, "What the hell?" Be like, "Yeah, don't worry about it. Just I have a boat, and you don't."
And it's called Gator McBooberson.
Yep.
There you go.
Seriously, you don't have any more questions?
No.
All right, here I'll skip through some. Let's see. What is the most useless talent you have? Well, let's wrap up with that.
Radio.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Is what we're doing useful? Probably singing because it's not gonna take me anywhere.
Not going to do anything.
Like I feel that I do have a good voice. Yeah, actually, remember people are like,
Well, then you
when
should-
we did the bad karaoke, people
Yeah.
were like, oh my god, Jason is a terrible. I'm like, no, it's
You
not.
should-
I can actually sing, but it doesn't take me.
You should try.
Try what?
Try singing somewhere.
All right,
Putting a band together.
let's find a lounge.
Let's get the band back together.
I want to be. I know. I want to be in a band, but I don't. Well, yeah, because I have a lot of time.
Then do it.
I'm just kidding.
Start a
I don't have
band.
a lot of fucking time.
Start a band after you have your charity going while we're doing the restaurant.
All right.
And
Yeah.
you could perform at the restaurant.
Perfect. Oh yeah, and with
Hey, what's your entertainment this week? It's Jason's band.
yeah.
Weren't they here last
What's
week?
your,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
They're going to be here next
They're
week,
here
too.
every day. They're here every day.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
That's it. It cuts down on trying to find a band.
All right.
House band. All right.
Okay, I had more, but we'll move. We're done.
That wrapping
it up.
Episode 12. It's called Muscular Beaver. He's Ferrari. I'm a
I think it's
Baticola.
Beavers, right?
Beavers.
Well, no, Muscular Beaver is also good.
Muscular Beaver. Hey,
Man, that
nice beaver.
That beaver's strong.
Thanks. I just had it stuffed. He's Ferrari. I'm a Baticola, and this is where we discuss all the things. It's called the Baticola and Ferrari Discuss Everything. Thanks for downloading, listening, supporting the show. We do appreciate it. We're on Twitter, AFDE Show. We're also on Facebook. Connect there, facebook.com/AFDE Show. Gmail, that's afdeshow@gmail.com. Thanks to our sponsors, Will's Northwoods, and that's at 30
North Racine.
North Racine.
It's actually 30 North Racine. I want you to put that in your GPS and see where you end up.
Why, what's that?
I said 30. They'd end up, I don't know.
30.
Antarctica? Not sure.
North Racine.
Somewhere. It's like North Pole.
Somewhere
Racine.
not at Will's is what it
maybe
is.
in Racine.
And our presenting sponsor, of course, is Mickey Finn's Lake County's original brew pub, 345 North Milwaukee Avenue in beautiful downtown Libertyville. You know, one of the good things about drinking diet ginger ale by itself, it tastes like a cocktail without alcohol.
Oh, you didn't put anything in it?
That's the second one I did.
Oh,
Yeah, it tastes like a.
You're
like
very sneaky.
It tastes like a cocktail without any cocktail in it.
Cock Robbie.
Baticola and Ferrari. See you next time.